Okay, so Max came over and he gave me a broken one, which is not much good. I would have thought he would have had a whole one with the amount of scrap cars he's got, but anyway, he's given me this, that's better than nothing. So what I'm going to try and do is I've made a template of where it is. I'm going to try and use this hot glue gun and see if I can rebuild this back up and make it into a whole piece. How it'll work I don't know, but I can, and then I can paint it black if it works. So basically cheap 3D printing, I guess it is really. I put paper on the back, so hopefully it won't, I can just take the paper off with the, when I rub it down, and we'll see how that goes. So it's just a hot glue gun basically, and I'll try and, I don't know whether I should smooth it down or just let it sit and see if that'll do the job. Put a bit more in there. Right, so I'll just try that out and see if it works or not. So you can see, I'll bring you in if I can. So I'll just put a line roughly on it. We'll see how it is. I'll probably have to build a plate for it. If this obviously doesn't work, then what I'll do is I'll buy a new one from Sticky Fingers. But this might be an alternative. We'll see. Hot glue gun. So I'll bring you back if it works. So I've drilled that extra hole in it there. It's pretty strong. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue in the back, and I'll obviously use a ring on it to support it, but I'll try and glue in this back piece now. Get that glue out of the way. We'll see how that goes. So once again the nibbler's come in very handy here. So I can cut round the edge of this shim that I want to make. You can see I've already cut the centre out. I'll try and do it. Be a bit noisy. See how nicely that cuts round, and I'll just clean up the area on the side. Sorry about the compressor, and you can see that is a nice tight fit over here. So I'll use that as the I'll put this against the wall, and that'll just be a packing piece basically. It's obviously not strong enough to do it on its own, so I'll use that as a packing piece and paint it all black. And I've got the holes, I'll drill the holes out as well after I clean it up. I'll bring you back when the compressor's off. Okay, so I've got that done, that's all nice flattened off. You can see this goes on quite well. It's reasonably, it's not tight, but it goes on quite well. So pop it on to the side there. There we go. So that's a nice solid aluminium ring on it. This is 2mm aluminium, this, so the nibbler or the cutter goes through that no problem. Aluminium, it's easier to cut, but that's 2mm thickness on it, and you can see that's the bit I cut out with the nibbler. It's almost right on the money if you can control it well. So the screws go through it. So what I'll do now is I'll put all the. Unfortunately, I made a slight cock up on one of the holes. If I have a look, I put the holes slightly out to one side, but it's no big deal. So as you can see there, I've painted this black. I don't think it'll stay black, but I just wanted to. I had some spray, so I thought I'd give it a coat of black just to cover the metal, stop it rusting. I might even do it orange, the bright orange of the Gulf colours. We'll see. But that's how the setup's going to be. Somebody did make a mention about with the RPM gauge about putting it on its side so that the maximum RPM was in line. But what I'm looking for now is actually an RPM gauge with the RPM light, which gives you a warning, which flashes and then goes bright when you need to change. But you can, I believe you can put with this. But the problem I've got is when I got this from Kevin at Gentleman's Motor Racing Team, there is no plug for it. So if anybody knows where I could get a plug for that, I think it's a, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 prongs in there, and this is a Smith's RPM gauge. So if you know where I could get this, or you have one and I could get it from you, I'll also pay you for it for the postage and what you want for it. But I need this plug. So it's a 6-prong plug, and as I say, it's a Smith's. It's 1,000 to 8,000 RPM. So if you know, or you know of anybody who might have that, because without that plug, we're basically screwed. I've talked to Max and he doesn't recognise it, but if you do, I'll let you put it into the camera so you can look. So if you have something like that, I really would appreciate it if you could let me know in the comments, or drop me an email at davejaguar66@gmail.com, and then I can get this done. So what I'm going to do now, the next deal is we've got, this will be, we're going to have an indicator light for, and this is a toggle switch here, which is off in the middle, left and right. That's going to go in there, and there's also going to be an indicator light with it, which will show the indicators working, because you need it for track days to let people pass or whatever. So they will be going in there somewhere, sort of that kind of idea. And then the last thing to go in will be a fuse box, and this is the fuse box we're putting in. So I have to cut a hole, and the fuse box is going to go in there, obviously internally. So what you'll end up with is this part of the fuse box sticking through. There's only 4 fuses in it, which we don't need anymore. So it'll sit like that. So it'd be easy to change it. The other idea we've come up with as well, so I'll have to make 2 strong posts to go inside there internally. So this will be flush with there, and then the cap will be on the outside. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to make a plug in the side of this so that it's kind of plug and play. You can basically take the whole thing out. The only thing you really need to disconnect is this plug, and obviously the oil pressure gauge, because that's obviously a wet gauge, so you'd have to unscrew that as well. But apart from that, you could actually take it out and put it back in, and we'll have all the cables pre-set up inside. So I'm going to take this to Max on Monday, Tuesday latest, and he's going to wire the whole thing up. The RPM gauge is this downside now. So if, as I say, if anybody knows, if they've got that plug, or they know somebody who's got a plug, or what it is, what the make is, oh, it's Smith's. I mean, other than that, the only thing I can do is actually go to Smith's and send a photograph and see if they've got a plug I can buy from them. But I'd really appreciate it if anybody out there has one. So yeah, on that note, I'll this video was mainly to show you a kind of DIY way of making this vent usable again. and it seems to have done the trick. This is basically only, it doesn't need to be strong, that flange, it just needs to be a spacer in between the plastic so that it's the same all the way around. So I'm quite happy with that. Once that's painted black, you'll never know the difference. And as I said, it's €50. I think it took me, I would say, I don't know, 15 minutes to make that, to do the glue, hot glue, and drill the holes in it and make this, because I cut it mostly with the nibbler. So there you go. So stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby. Take care, guys. Bye.